this afternoon and what's left of the morning, going to get some insect footage. I noticed, you know the one that Jerry got?
Yes.
He looks as though it's eating the entire... Ask Howard first of all, what are the sort of variety of species that people within the insect world that people might see if they come to Rainham this summer?
So we're sort of building into butterfly and dragonfly time at the moment.
Excellent.
The first summer butterflies are out, meadow browns and that sort of thing, and skippers as well, so those nice bright orangey ones. And dragonflies are just getting going. So we've had all the little damselflies for 2 months now. Now we're getting the darters, the first ruddy darters are out, and the big emperors, and hopefully in the next few weeks numbers of those will increase, and they're out hunting all the other things that we want to look at.
Yes.
So they'll be hunting, the big ones will be hunting the dragonflies.
Yes, yeah.
And the hogweed that grows around here is aptly named for smelling like a pigsty.
Oh, thanks for that.
But the flies love it.
Yeah, yes.
So
flies, yes. Now hoverflies.
Hoverflies.
There's a lot of talk presently about the fact that the insect population is on the decline, not only in the countryside but also in towns as well, but particularly so. People may have noticed the absence of butterflies in their own back garden. How has it affected what you can see over here? Have you noticed over the years?
Not really. I mean, there's fluxes in butterfly populations anyway. So this year is a holly blue year.
Yes.
Next year won't be.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Where we notice it is, as everyone knows, is the front of your windscreen in your car when you've been on a journey. You know, back in the day,
yeah, quite,
you had to stop and clear your window,
yes.
Or clean your number plate, and it was
yes.
A whole plethora of species embedded into your grill.
Yeah.
Now we don't have that problem, which is a problem in itself,
yeah.
and then links into everything else that's here, all the bird population.
Yeah.
That's where there's the potential, of course, for it to have a big knock-on effect.
Yeah.
You know, the dragonflies need other insects to feed on, the smaller ones. Birds feed on the smaller insects as well, and things like that. The hobbies, when they come back in the late summer, feed on the dragonflies, and if they're not here,
yes,
they've got to go back to Africa. All these birds here, you know, the warblers that are breeding out here, have got to make it back sub-Saharan.
yeah.
And if there's not the food to build up the fat reserves in the young birds to get them going,
quite. I mean, from our point of view, it's often said, no bees. After a while, no humans. And we are dependent not only on that food chain, but flowers in their turn dependent on the insect life for pollination and so on.
I mean, I would say that this year is a good flower year. The tufted vetch that's around us here, the purple, it's the best I've seen for some time.
Excellent.
And I think it's because we had the rain at the right times.
Yeah.
It's the other reason why what you can see in that camera there at the moment out there, it's lush.
Yes.
It is as it should be.
We're going to take a look out there have a look at what's there at the moment, but it's springtime, early summer. How has the breeding been this year for population of birds?
Looking promising. So
good.
Lapwing and redshank are definitely up on last year. We haven't got the final figures in yet, but the numbers of breeding birds is certainly up. Duck are doing very well out there. That's partly the electric fence helping, but it's also good conditions and obviously good feeding. Hopefully our marsh harriers are doing what we want them to do out there as well. We've certainly got 2 pair of those. Yeah. And there's lots of little egrets coming in here at the moment to feed. They don't actually breed here, they're just down the road a little bit. But they're a constant view out here is little glowing white little egrets with nice yellow feet.
Good.
Yeah. And we've actually noticed people coming into the visitor centre after their walk around and been like, oh, I've seen a lot of like little egrets, or I've seen a lot more of the bearded tits, and it's because they are that much more active because they are breeding now.
Yes, good. Well, Sim, I'm wondering if I might ask in your turn, what's going to be occupying your time in the next couple of months over summer? How will you be developing membership and so on?
Well, I will be telling everyone what's out here.
Yes.
So I'm mainly in the visitor centre, and I just make sure everyone has a good time. and if they've come to see something specific,
I shall bear that in mind.
yep, I'll let them know where to go see it. And you know, for me and for the RSPB, membership is very important. But it's making people realise what is here and why it's so important.
Yeah.
And I think coming to a nature reserve like this and seeing everything that is out there, you
Yes.
know, it's what triggers it in people's heads.
Excellent.
It's on so many people's doorstep.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
quite,
getting them
yes.
to buy into the idea
Yes.
that, you know, with their help, we can
Yeah.
keep this looking as
Well, it
wonderful
is the
as-
local patch for Havering and Purfleet and around Thurrock and so on, but also the local patch for almost all of East London in one sense.
Yeah.
It's certainly my local RSPB reserve, and consequently, you know, it's nice to know that the place is well looked after, which I can congratulate you both on in how it is presently and
Seem to do a good
how
job.
I've known it over the last 5 or more years that I've been coming regularly here. Question for either of you, you may have different approaches. What is going to be the work of people who are going to be out there working for RSPB? What's the summer schedule, if you like, for activities? Is it
Well,
quiet time?
No. The wardening team are basically on our equivalent of a Fourth Road Bridge project,
Oh, really?
which is continually streaming back the vegetation from around the
Yes.
electric fence
Yes.
to ensure that it works properly.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's 8.5 kilometres of fence.
That's a lot
And
of
that's
trimming.
it's a lot of strimming
Yes.
and a lot of hard graft. And
Yes.
yeah, they get to the end of it, and then just like the fabled bridge, they go back to the beginning again
Yes.
and keep going.
Okay.
It's just looking so wonderfully lush out there. There won't be anything to do out there now until the end of the breeding season. The cows are doing a good job of doing their own mowing,
Yes.
but we'll get to a stage in the late summer, early autumn when we go out and help
Yeah.
as
yeah.
well. Although at the moment it doesn't look like there's as much thistle as last year, which is good. We have to try and keep the thistle back because the cows don't touch that,
No,
and it will just
I'm
take
not
over.
surprised.
But it's just looking green, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
nice.
Yes.
yeah, and that's what we want. And I think for visitors, you see that, or at least for me, if I'd come here and I didn't understand anything about the electric fence that's here, I just think, oh, it's just a fence. But actually, it's so important
Yeah.
for us and for the breeding birds that are on there.
I'm sure
And
there are a lot of foxes around with sore noses.
Yes, yeah.
6,000 pulse volt.
Yes.
Volt pulse. You'll
Yeah.
know about it.
Tasered on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foxes are this side. You know, we're quite happy with the foxes this side. We just can't afford them to be that side.
One last point before we take a look through the round window, as they used to say. Forthcoming, August the 11th,
Oh, yeah.
Hen Harrier Day. Is there anybody on the planet who shouldn't be here? No, can't think of anyone.
Everybody there.
Yes.
August the 11th. Come here. Wave your banners. You know, stand up for wildlife. You know, and just add your voice. You know, to ours, and we're adding our voice to Birders Against Wildlife Crime, and that's what we need is a bit of momentum, and hopefully we can kickstart that again in August.
Yes, I know that it has the title Hen Harrier Day, but it does have that all-encompassing campaign to protect wildlife both in the countryside and particularly in areas where, how shall we say, financial interests within the country community are, there is a tension. There is a tension. And we've got Chris Packham doing his Bio Blitz campaign over the summer.
It's with the Wildlife Trust, and that's going very well. There's lots
Yeah.
of good feedback on that. So I think there's just a good general natural history awareness at the moment,
Yes.
and you know, it's having voices like Chris and Dave Lindo and ours, and doing things like this
Yes.
that keeps these things to the front. And you know, if we can get people to come here and enjoy this, and come on the events, and go for a walk, and bring the family down the playground, or hire a bike, or whatever, but visit
Yes.
the nature reserves, whether they're ours or somebody else's, but visit a nature reserve
Yes.
rather than just a park.
Yeah.
Visit a nature reserve. You can do some of the things you might do in a park on a nature reserve,
Yes.
depends which one, but there's
Yes.
things you can do.
Yes.
And it's about getting everyone closer to to what's out there and going, well, actually, I like that, and I'd like to keep that like that.
Yes, good. So that's something of what's happening and will be happening over summer. What I'd like to do now is to swap cameras with a bit of IT. Please let it work, and we'll see what's out there. At the moment, if I swap over, you should have a very nice picture of some oxeye daisies, which here's a photograph I prepared earlier. Well, it's a moving image. Now, oxeye daisies, are they? Is this patch one of many, or is it?
No, there's a few patches dotted around. So one here, one in the wildlife garden, and a couple alongside the path.
Yeah.
And they just add to that mosaic of colour that we have. Whites and yellows are the predominant colours once we get further into the season. At the moment, as I said, the purple of the tufted vetch is blazoned all the way along the river wall.
Yeah.
And as you just move through the seasons, it just changes, and everything attracts something.
Yeah, and I think oxeye daisy is something that a plant that everyone can recognise. Whether you know your plants or not, you'll look at it and be like, oh, that's a daisy.
Yeah.
I'm moving the camera up now just to take in some other things that we might be able to see.
Some more big white things.
Yes. Carrying on the theme of white. Let's see. Well, there's a quite fairly handsome swan.
Ah, you found this one.
Yes. And
got two
down
broods
in
of
front,
those.
a little egret, which we can zoom in on. Now, egrets, little egrets in particular, are one of those evidences, as far as I know, of climate change, because this was an exotic bird in my childhood.
And mine.
Yeah, and now they are more than plentiful. Is that just in the southern part of the UK at the moment?
They're pushing north quite steadily now. I think they're still scarce in the far northwest and southern Scotland and that sort of thing. But there's colonies all around the country now. They're in urban environments. They're on urban parks with an island with a small heronry on it. They're attracting little egrets in.
Yeah.
So our birds here are actually from the Essex Wildlife Trust Reserve at Warren Gorge, Chafford 100, just down the road, and they have a nice island there that they're fully safe on, and they commute from there to here to feed.
Yes, yeah.
So at the moment we've got upwards of 30 birds coming and going during the day.
Excellent.
And within a few weeks all the young will come in here as well, and we'll have...
I'll come round a bit because we've got another nice example here, if I can find it. There we are.
Are you after the egret again?
Yes, just so that you can see it a little more clearly. It's a very handsome bird.
So he'll be wiggling those yellow toes.
Yes, stamping on the mud to bring it all to life.
Well, it's also the yellow toes attached to black legs
Yes.
attract fish.
Oh, really?
So he wiggles them,
Yes.
and they see these yellow things in the water, and the fish, being supremely intelligent,
Yes.
swim towards the yellow waggling toes,
Yes, because they...
and Mr.
Everyone
Egret,
likes
there
the
he goes.
waggling toes.
Absolutely. Another one just bit the dust.
Yeah.
So at the moment he's probably taking tadpoles and sticklebacks, but as the season moves on with our marsh frogs, then there'll be little frogs to eat as well, and as the big tadpoles start to sit on the surface when they start growing their legs,
Yeah.
then you'll see them catch some real monsters out there.
Now, I don't know what that is, but I've seen them.
We've got a grey heron's head in there.
It's a grey heron, yes. That's very nice.
So over twice the size of that little egret,
Yeah.
and capable of swallowing anything up to sort of like half-grown baby coot.
Yes, I've seen them trying to swallow whole rats and all sorts of things.
Yes.
So
Usually with the indigestion to follow.
Yeah.
it's survive or be painless. Yeah. And as someone who comes here during the winter, I can see immediately the difference between the amount of water that we can see on Purfleet Scrape Although, is that an indicator of there's less water, or just that it's full of reeds?
No, it's nice to find someone who understands that that is not no water.
Yes.
It is actually wonderfully wet for this time of year. We were worried at the start of the season we were not going to have the water that we wanted.
Yeah.
The fact that we're most of the way through June and that still looks as good as that is testament to the management of our sluices and our ditches and our working out where to put the water and how to keep it. I've never seen that looking as good as wet as that. Lush as that, yes, but not as wet as that this late.
Yeah.
If we can keep water on there into the summer and late summer, because although this is the lull in migration where all of those wading birds that went through in the spring have gone north to the Arctic, the first ones will be back probably next week. I would not be at all surprised if there's a green sandpiper here by the end of next week.
Yeah.
He'll be a male, he'll have gone up there, done his stuff. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Back he comes.
Find some food.
Yeah. All the way to Norway, nest in a tree, come back here again.
Yeah.
So leave her up there with the kids.
Well, I'd like to thank you both for spending this time, giving us some very useful and exciting information about summer coming up on Rainham. And just to remind everybody, we've got August the 11th, and probably, if you keep an eye on the RSPB website, other activities during the summer.
So two that things spring to mind. We've got a late night opening this Friday.
Yes.
So if you want to come down and spend the evening here, to dark, and then we've got a moth night that follows that.
Yes.
So weather permitting.
Yes.
We'll be running those on and off during the summer. And then we have our Big Wild Sleep Out, which you can come and go camping out on the reserve for a whole night.
Yes.
Which I believe is Saturday the
28th of July.
28th of July.
Saturday the 28th of July.
And we have lots of things on for the kids during the summer, as per usual.
Yeah.
So come and be part of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
enjoy
Yeah.
the place.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this short visit to Rainham, and that you'll make sure that you pay a visit if you possibly live within reasonable distance. And as we finish, I'll just leave you with an interesting picture of the marshes if you want to enjoy summer as it is at the moment. I'm just going to go over to our friends here.
We nearly had inappropriate cow then. Hoping to be able to show you Pete the bull, but I can't see him.
No. Hoping that we see you all soon.
Yes, thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
And then I think what I'm going to do is spend a little while this afternoon and what's left of the morning going to get some insect footage. I noticed,
Tell you where
you know the one that Jerry
That's it,
got?
yes.
It looks as though it's eating